top list presents 10 of the worst parents ever. Number 10, the mother who gave her 7-year-old daughter a boob job as a birthday gift. Sarah Burge, the self-declared human Barbie most famous for spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on cosmetic surgery, has reached a new low in parenting. For her daughter Poppy's 7th birthday, she has given her a $10,000 voucher for breast augmentation surgery. Poppy begged me for a boob job, so I gave her the voucher so she can have it after she's 16 when it's legal. If she develops naturally big boobs, she can have something else done with it. Burge, 50, says, "I can't wait to be like mommy with big boobs. They're pretty," adds Poppy. Oh, and she's also teaching her daughter how to pole dance. Number 9, smoking during pregnancy. Charlie Wilcox got the world's attention in 2011 when she revealed she'd smoked 3,500 cigarettes during the course of her pregnancy. She believed smoking so many cigarettes was helping her baby's development, forcing its lungs to strengthen to accommodate all the harsh chemicals. Charlie actually believed quitting smoking would have been detrimental to her baby's health, like how when you're bashing your face into a wall and you don't want to stop because you know deep down anything that causes that much facial bruising must somehow be good for you. During the pregnancy, the unborn child had dangerously high carbon monoxide levels, but this did not deter Charlie. Baby Poppy was eventually born underweight and premature, but Charlie insisted that there was no correlation. It was like totally a coincidence. Number 8, the mother set up a fight between her daughter and a classmate to settle a beef. A Florida mom was arrested for arranging a fight between her daughter and another teenage girl. Sandra Padilla Miranda asked her daughter's nemesis to come over after school so the girls could uppercut their troubles away. After the Mortal Kombat announcer had declared fight, the girls aged 14 and 17 started throwing fists to a large cheering crowd. Like most things these days, the shenanigans were recorded and posted on Facebook. Throughout the fight, Sandra repeatedly yelled "hit harder" in Spanish and encouraged her daughter to visualize her opponent as a Chinese sandwich and bite her. Miranda feigned innocence, but justice prevailed. She was charged with child abuse and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. Number 7, the kid who starved to death as her parents were raising a virtual child. A South Korean couple was arrested after their 3-month-old infant girl died of starvation. The infant was left unattended at home while the couple spent hours at internet cafes raising a virtual child named Anima. The couple seemed to have lost their will to live a normal life because they didn't have jobs and gave birth to a premature baby. They indulged themselves in the online game of raising a virtual character so as to escape from reality, which unfortunately led to the death of their real baby. The couple fled to the wife's parents' house in Yangju, Gyeonggi province, but were later picked up. The case has shocked South Korea and once again highlighted obsessive behavior related to the internet. Number 6, a baby smokes 40 cigarettes a day. In 2013, an Indonesian toddler named Aldi Rizal made international headlines for being the world's youngest chain smoker. This tubby 2-year-old's incredible habit began when his desperate mother used cigarettes to stop his relentless crying. Cigarettes pacified him, but also proved highly addictive, and his habit quickly ballooned to 40 cigarettes a day. It took 5 years for Aldi, who may or may not have been named after the supermarket chain, to kick his habit. But he's still not on the healthy straight and narrow. The tubby youngster's new addiction is junk food. Number 5, mother leaves paralyzed child in the woods with a Bible. Nia Parler, charged with attempted murder, left her quadriplegic son, who also has cerebral palsy, abandoned in the woods on April 5th, 2015. Quan Norman, 21 years old, cannot speak or move and needs a wheelchair to get around. Nia Parler abandoned Daquan in a Philadelphia park near the family's home to visit a boyfriend in Maryland. "Quote unquote, I'm so happy," was her quote on Facebook only 24 hours after abandoning her son. Quan laid in the woods 5 days with only a Bible laying on his chest. In the midst of cold and damp weather, wild animals, and no food or water. After his noted absence from Philadelphia's School of the Future, the alarms rang off and authorities got involved. Nia was then extradited and arrested in Philadelphia after spending time in a mental hospital for undisclosed reasons. Number 4. The drunken dad who let his 8-year-old take the wheel. A drunken Mississippi dad named Billy Joe Madden let his 8-year-old son drive their car on the interstate so he could have a nap. Madden's 4-year-old daughter was also sitting in the back seat, without a seatbelt of course. Passing motorists noticed the boy at the wheel and quickly notified authorities. The douche nozzle redneck, who would definitely take last place in a Dad of the Year pageant, received multiple charges and his kids temporarily placed into the care of child welfare authorities, although reports indicate he enjoyed his nap. Number 3. The parents who tried to pimp their daughter in exchange for a minivan. A Georgia couple pleaded guilty to making their 14-year-old daughter engage in sexual activities with a used car salesman so they wouldn't have to make monthly payments on their second-hand minivan. Sandra Davis was sentenced to 8 years imprisonment after admitting she'd encouraged her daughter to trade sex for van payments. Sandra's husband James and 67-year-old used car salesman Robert Bearden pleaded guilty to molestation and also to being supreme dirtbags. They each received 10 years jail time. Police learned of the sick arrangement during an unrelated investigation and the 3 were prosecuted in 2010. Good work, guys. Number 2. Father rapes daughter thousands of times. On August 29, 1984, Joseph Fritzl led his daughter into a cellar to help carry a door. After blacking out, 18-year-old Elizabeth Fritzl woke from her slumber and proceeded to spend the next 6 to 9 months on a leash within the cellar. Joseph Fritzl had begun working on Elizabeth's prison a full 3 years before the incident. Its entryway made up of 8 doors, 650 pounds to 1,100 pounds each, barring Elizabeth from the outside world. Joseph Fritzl then raped his daughter over the course of 24 years, and the incest produced 7 children. 3 of the 7 stayed in the small cellar watching as Joseph Fritzl raped and humiliated their mother, making her reenact scenes from porn films. After Elizabeth's eldest child fell ill, hospital staff alerted authorities that something fishy was going on. Elizabeth only agreed to tell her story if police guaranteed her she would never see her father again. Number 1. Woman kills baby for interrupting game of Farmville. A young Florida mother pled guilty to killing her baby son over a game of Farmville. Alexandra V. Tobias said her 3-month-old child Dylan refused to stop crying while she was trying to play the popular Facebook time waster, I mean casual game. Angered Alexandra shook the baby, then left to have a cigarette. What was it with this needy infant? Why couldn't it understand her virtual crop compulsion? Calm and refreshed, Alexandra returned from her cigarette break and shook the baby again, this time killing it. Alexandra was convicted of 2nd-degree murder and sentenced to 50 years in the slammer. Hopefully her crops withered. Thanks for watching. Please comment and subscribe. And if you guys didn't know, this is actually not my channel. My channel is actually Queeble TV. We have gameplays, tutorials, and more, all with a touch of comedy and, of course, my great narration. Give it a click.